Have you ever wondered what challenges small business owners face? Well, I have faced many challenges in my 6 years of entrepreneurship. Come along with me and I'll share my experience. Let's head out. I'm sure many of you have already heard this saying, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. It's always helpful to have a game plan before the start of each day. So for example, you may want to schedule out the things that you want to achieve the next day at night, right before bed, or you may want to opt into trying to write out your to-do list or your must-dos in the morning. By creating a list of priorities of things that you want to focus on will certainly help to optimize your productivity. A method that I have utilized to also help with keeping track of my time and time management is the Pomodoro method. And when utilizing the Pomodoro method, it is super helpful if you are trying to knock out tasks and also keep yourself on a pretty restrictive time frame. In addition, it also allows you to have mini breaks so that you don't feel like you're doing all work and no play. It's also important to be realistic about the time that it will take for you to complete each task. So if you have no idea as it relates to how much time it takes to complete a task, or even if you are a person that usually underestimates the time that you take to complete a task, I challenge you to take 1 week out of your schedule and record how long it takes you to complete each task. This will give you a more accurate description as it relates to how long each thing actually takes. But who am I fooling? As we know, there are always fires to put out in your business. Even when you have all of these methods in place to help to increase your time management skills, most days I consider signing up for the local volunteer firefighter department because the amount of fires that I put out a day, they could hire me on the spot. But even in the midst of putting out fires, while also having to manage my time, I always have to remind myself that other people's emergencies are not my emergencies. And when keeping this in mind, it helps me to minimize the amount of times that I am sidetracked throughout my day, and it helps me to do a better job of fulfilling my role as the owner of the company. Another common challenge for business owners is the ability to make decisions. There can be times where you're in the phase of analysis paralysis because there's so many things you have to do. There's so many decisions that you have to make and you may not know where to start. And if it's a difficult decision that you have to make, sometimes you don't even know if you are making the right decision until the decision is made. And that can certainly weigh a lot on someone as a business owner. For example, a few years ago, I made the decision to no longer service individuals in the home environment and to only provide center-based services. At that time, I really didn't fully think through what the impact would be as it relates to the organization. And I didn't even think that it would hinder the business. However, I was making the decision based upon the needs of my employees at the time and also based on convenience. Shortly after, I realized that financially, it probably wasn't the best decision to make. And sometimes you just have to go with the decision that you make and deal with the consequences that follow. But you also have to know that you will not always make the right decision and you may not probably always make the best decision. But as you grow as an individual as well as a business owner, it will only get better from there. And before we go into our next store, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I would love for you to stick around. About to clean, I'm about to start getting busy, and that's the life. That is the life. What a day it has been. I left the house at about 12:45 and just got back and it is 6:25. So I'm going to unpack the groceries, grab a bite to eat, and I'll be right back. Work-life balance, or what I like to call it, work-life alignment, can be pretty difficult. What has been a game changer for me is really sticking to my calendar, whether it be my planner, my calendar on the refrigerator, or the calendar in my phone and email. I make sure that I carve out time that can be dedicated to work and also carve out time that can be dedicated to my friends and family. As a business owner, sometimes it can be really difficult to carve out that time, especially when you're new in business and you really want your business to thrive and grow. But I had to learn the hard way and tell myself that it's also important for my relationships with those around me and those that care about me most to also thrive and grow. It is imperative that you set boundaries. I was a repeat offender of looking at my phone while having dinner with my husband, not really being present and attentive to whatever we were discussing because I was doing work. So once I saw that it became a pattern, I knew I had to change something. So I removed all email notifications from my phone so that I can be present throughout the day with my friends and family. People always ask me, how do I do it? And the honest truth is there will be some times where things fall out of alignment. I am also a student currently. So there's times where I have to put work on the back burner. There's times where I have to put school on the back burner. And there's also times where I have to put the social aspect of my life on the back burner. Ultimately, it's important to check in with your loved one. At the end of the day, what matters most is your loved one. What has made me make this connection is asking myself, on my final day on earth, do I want to remember the memories that I've shared and created with my husband, family, and friends, or the growth and development of my company? And here is a prime example of me having a little bit of work-life alignment. All right, guys, it's time to go. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.